So at this point, look, it could be anywhere between 85 and 88. But essentially, you're coming all the way up here only to retrace down back to the midline here, right? Because the midline is going to be resistance when you're below it. That's where you get your wave one, and support when you're above it. But that midline has to be retested before leaving. Everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. Well, almost daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is May 3rd, 2024, and it happened. It happened. We said if our trade thesis was correct, we would get a move up within the next 24 to 48 hours, and the next target would be 67K thereabouts. We haven't yet hit 67K, but we have started going up. All right, and this is huge, not just for Bitcoin, but especially for the altcoins. We're going to look at that, all that and more. We're going to look at the DXY. We're going to look at Bitcoin dominance. This is very exciting, guys. Let's analyze these charts. This is when we make money. This is when we finally profit from being in the bear market, from paying attention for so long, from being in crab markets, side to side markets, markets that have not done anything but go down and sideways, down and sideways, down and sideways. This is when we profit, and this is when it's all worth it. We put all of our knowledge, all of our patience, all of our understanding of these charts to use. And when we take profit, we do so because we understand that that's the top of a particular move, okay? And we have a system, we have trading system, all that stuff. Everything that we developed in the bear market, we put to use now, all right? So let's get into it. I'm extremely excited if you can't tell. Let's start off on the small time frames. Hourly time frame, I want to show you something. Okay, it happened. What happened? We got a very nice reversal here. You can see this. It's a rounded bottom. Bottoms and tops tend to be rounded. Or you can look at it as a W reversal, okay? Essentially, what you got here was a mini accumulation where price bottomed out and reversed, okay? And our next logical target from this reversal is where I put my yellow alarm, okay? A yellow line with an alarm around 67K. I believe that this is going to be our next logical target. Okay, again, everybody's different. You have to understand, when I say target, that's my target for my particular purposes. I'm in a trading competition. It's a paper trading competition run by TradingView, and you should join if you like trading, if you're interested. And you have to put in a minimum of 10 trades consecutively or non-consecutively over the month of May. And so I'm taking this trade. I'm selling here because I believe that once we get to 67,453 on this Coinbase chart, we're going to experience some resistance, enough resistance to come down. Why do I believe that's resistance? One, because it's this previous high. Two, and most importantly, because it's the midline of this channel. And what do we know about channels? Channels have three important aspects: the top, which is resistance, the bottom, which is support, and the midline, which so many people ignore. The midline, which is resistance when you're below it, support when you're above it, okay? Some people call this the heart line, but I call it the midline. Okay, the midline of the channel is going to be important resistance, and I think what we do is we go up there and we finally come back down, right? And then continue. So that's our wave one, essentially. Also, this would be a good time to take profits on some altcoin trades if you're a small time frame trader, okay? If you're not, then completely ignore this. But of course, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, because you formulate strategies in the bear market and you know exactly what you're doing. You're not just in this market willy-nilly. All that time the price was going sideways and down, you spent honing your skills and preparing for this moment. And this is when you reap the rewards. Okay. So that's what I see with Bitcoin. I'm thinking right now we're at 62,831. I'm thinking we continue to go up about 6-7% more until we hit that target. And then after which I believe it's a high degree of probability, or yeah, it's a high degree of probability that we come down like such. Okay. Retest the bottom, because look what happened. Look what happened. So you essentially, and I like how this makes sense. Like there's a lot of ways that I like this trading thesis. So you are in the 60-day channel going up and down for 60 days, for 60 days, for 60 days. Finally, you do what we call in YOF a spring. Okay. A spring is basically a test of the lowest portions beneath the lowest observable support. Okay, so basically you observe this as being the support of the channel, right? A spring in YCOF is, I'm going to test below that to see if there's any liquidity left below that, people hiding their stops below that. And once I grab this liquidity, I'm going to reverse. That is a classic move. It's not a trick. It's not a fake out. It's called a spring. Okay, it's in the YCOF accumulation schematic. It is trading accumulation channel, consolidation channel 101. It happens in distributions as well. So that is our YCOF spring, or some people call it a bear trap in this case, right? Because it's an accumulation channel that's essentially slated to go up. And so this spring fakes a lot of people out. A lot of people go short, and then shorts get liquidated. And that, on the strength of that liquidation and the strength of this accumulation, we get a strong rise here. And like I said in last episode, I believe that this move is the start to a larger move that goes all the way up to 88,000. Okay, I think I said 87,000 last time, but I think it's 88,000, or maybe I said 85,000, but it's 88,000 upon based off of what I'm measuring right now. Okay, and I said that last episode. I said within 5 to 7 days. And why did I say 5 to 7 days? Because, guys, the new moon is on May 7th. That's Tuesday. Okay, so think about it. May 7th, the new moon represents local market tops. A local market top is what it means, a local market top in the market. So I think what you're doing is you're going to go up here, come down, go up, do your wave 4, and then finally reach your top in and around May 7th, Tuesday, right? We're the 3rd today. So in about 4 or 5 days, I'm expecting Bitcoin to be around that 88,000. And I said last episode, the only way this happens, right? A journey with 1,000 miles starts with 1 step. We have to start breaking out within 24 to 48 hours for that to still be on the table. And as of recording, that $88,000 target is still on the table. Okay, it's essentially, if you want to look at it in terms of pattern analysis, it's essentially breaking this channel of 60 days to the upside, superimposed from the side of breakout. That gives you your $88,000 target. That's not how I measured it, but that's another way to measure it, and that's confluence, because you can measure it that way, or you could do the way I did it, which is saying, quite simply, if you look at this impulse, let's go on the 4-hourly time frame. And guys, if you're getting value, if you're enjoying this analysis, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Consider buying me a coffee on the link pinned below in the comments. Okay, so if you consider this the beginning of your impulse, right, and you use your Fibonacci retracement tool, what you want to do is retest the midline of this entire move. Okay, so at this point, look, it could be anywhere between 85 and 88, but essentially you're coming all the way up here only to retrace down back to the midline here. right? Because the midline is going to be resistance when you're below it. That's where you get your wave one, and support when you're above it. But that midline has to be retested before leaving the channel. So essentially, if you look at it graphically, another way to look at it, let's change this color and change this thickness. What I'm looking at, oh, 1 second, let me change this opacity. Okay, there we go. That was bothering me. You're looking at this kind of pattern. It's a W reversal pattern, right? Whoops. With this neckline. Now, the height of this, superimposed from the side of breakout, you hit your target and you retest. So breakout, retest, breakout. That's what I'm seeing. And that's my trade thesis. That's what I have, like, sort of, if I'm projecting the next 5-7 days, that's what I'm seeing Bitcoin do. Bitcoin does all of that. Guess what's going to happen with the altcoins? That's where we're going next. The altcoins are going to go loco. And this is exactly what we're seeing. Okay, let's first look at Bitcoin dominance. Actually, yeah, let's look at Bitcoin dominance. Since we talked about it, let's look at it. Okay, so Bitcoin dominance. Last episode, what did we say? We said we see a rising wedge. And a rising wedge is a bearish pattern. Obviously, no pattern is 100% this or that. But when we say bearish, we mean predominantly bearish. So more often than not, I think it's like 80-something% of the time, this fails. This breaks down. Okay? And it did begin to break down. So that's what you're seeing. This, since October, has been going up. And finally, you got a move down. And what do you get after a breakdown? You get a retest. Now, tricky bit is, this retest can happen like this. It can happen like this. It can look a lot of different ways. But essentially, what we care about is the fact that this is breaking a support line that's been held for 100 days, 100 plus days, and it broke down, and now it's being retested. So we know, just like, you know, any chart pattern, a breakout or breakdown, a retest, and then a breakdown, essentially, right? Theoretically. Again, that retest can be compounded or whatever, but that's the idea. So this is very encouraging. Basically, what this means, this Bitcoin dominance chart is saying, altcoins are doing all right, right? So let's go to our watch list. And you can see in the watch list, Bitcoin's doing great. It's up almost 7% today. Meanwhile, you know, some altcoins are up 7% right here, synthetic. Some are up a little more. Stacks, great project. And then, but most are doing a little worse than Bitcoin, okay? That is going to change very soon. And that, it's going to change in a major way, because altcoins aren't going to just, you know, outdo Bitcoin by a little. They're going to destroy Bitcoin, right? In terms of gains. So that is extremely exciting. But even still, you know, this is a situation where Bitcoin goes up and altcoins go up. But then when Bitcoin dominance comes down, it's basically, once altcoins start getting the safe kind of once altcoins start feeling comfortable, let's say that the market starts feeling comfortable with altcoins, altcoins will go up a tremendous amount against Bitcoin. That is when it gets really, really, really fun. Okay? So that's Bitcoin dominance. That's altcoin. And last but not least, the US dollar currency index. What did we say with the US dollar currency index? Last time we looked at it, we said we were up against resistance. This is resistance. You know, we came down impulsively, and then we had a flavor of 3 right here. 1, 2, 3, or something like that. Again, I say flavor of 3 because these complex corrections look a manner of ways, but tend to break down either into 3 or 5 or 7, but typically 3. In any case, you're at this resistance, and so we should expect a move down, and that's exactly what we got. Move down in the US dollar currency index means a move up in risk on assets, Bitcoin, stocks, and all that stuff. That's when we have fun with our investments. So I'm very excited. As always, if you find this helpful, please share, like, subscribe, consider buying me a coffee at the pinned comment below, and I will see you next time. Take care.